will and can police lie to me about information that they have? So, for example, if a 15-year-old girl has been arrested and so has a 16-year-old boy, might they tell both parties that the other has already given their interview and they kind of have everything they need to know. They just want to hear it from the other person's point of view. Can and will they lie?
Well, they shouldn't be lying. I can't say that I'm sure it absolutely happens. In terms of information that they're giving, they can withhold certain information, which again is why often you might be advised to give no comment, because in disclosure, so we go in and we ask the police lots of questions about what's happened to try and get as much information so that we can advise someone as best as possible. But sometimes they might hold certain things back. One, you might ask them a question directly and they might just say, oh, we're not willing to disclose that. They just don't give you the information. Or if, for some reason you haven't asked a certain question, then they've not obviously been forthcoming with that information. Then you go into the interview and then all of a sudden there's all this telephone evidence. I remember, I had a child arrested for a number of robberies. And there were lots of Oyster card. This officer would not give me anything. Like I said on record in the taped interview to say, you're not giving me enough information. They're robberies. As robberies, you have to show that there's like a use or threat of force. You're not telling me what that is, blah, blah, blah. And he came out with all these Oyster card records of my client's movements that we had no idea about. So they can withhold information. They have to give enough for you to know or understand the offence, but some officers are more forthcoming and will give more information. Others will give less. It very much depends, and that is also why it's so important to get a solicitor too, so they can do the digging and find out more or ask about the CCTV, because particularly as well with cases where there's CCTV, actually viewing that CCTV footage can completely change, what we're going to advise, because the officers might describe the CCTV footage to show something, and then I see the CCTV footage and I'm like, well, actually what's happening here is very, it's quite different to what you've painted, the picture that you've painted. So, but the solicitor will be able to go in and do those things for you and then advise you accordingly.
Yeah, no, I think that's really important to know actually, because I think some people wouldn't even know that the solicitor might be able to get access to CCTV footage or audio recordings, or like you say, sort of proof of travel and such. So yeah, I think it's so important that people know that, when speaking to a community member recently about this, about what kind of questions would you want the answer to? Um, the thing that was raised was, yeah, I've been told actually if I demand a solicitor, it makes me look guilty, and that if I have nothing to hide, just answer the questions. So there's so much misinformation around